YouTube. This is Mickey D bringing you episode 42 of Stationeers. So I took a little break to eat dinner. So other than that, pretty much right after the last episode, nothing has changed. Trying to think of, I think there's a couple things I checked. So the greenhouse is all up and running. Everything is processed, so we're pretty much good to go. I've got a few things in this episode that I kind of want to finish off. One of them being adding in the circuit for the generator to kick that in automatically, and I also I want to add that system in to turn the filtration system in the AC on and off. Oh, that's weird. There's no display on there. That's an interesting little bug. Okay. Yeah, so I want to set up a system to automate this, so that way if we are not if there's nothing in the system, that's going to save us on some power, and also it'll get around that bug of the AC not kicking on when we start, when we load the map. So I don't have to remember to go run in there and turn it on every time. Yeah, and then the circuit down below. So it's basically going to be more circuit work in this episode, and I'm hoping to get both of those done before, within this episode. And then after that, I think we will do the test run of the furnace with the new filtration AC system, make sure that the greenhouse does not overheat, which it should be fine. I can't imagine it's not. And then after that, I think it's going to be expanding and adding the cryo stuff and whatnot, the stasis pod and everything. Granted, they don't really have a use right now, but they will eventually, so we need a spot for them. And like I said, I think we might pull this up since we're not using this anymore, punch a doorway in through there, and then that will leave us, basically down through here for any of the machinery and whatnot. So yeah, we'll jump right into it then. Probably gonna need to make, I haven't really done any prep work, so we're probably gonna need to make some chips and whatnot. Shouldn't, except for wiring, which we have enough to get started, and we'll see what we need as we go along, I guess. We shouldn't really need a ton anyway. And what we're going to do is we're just going to set the generator to run if this is less than our maximum up here, our percentage power is less than 25. That way, if we're down to basically a quarter of our total reserve, it'll kick in the generator. We don't almost never get down that low, so hasn't really been a priority, but since we've got this system in, then it'll be easy to expand it. So we'll need a, and I really wish they showed labels on these. Let me see. Yes, we will need a, well, we don't need, well, actually, yes, we do need a reader, because we're going to need to read that math unit. And actually, we might not need a reader. We might just need, because we've already got that, so we might be able to do it with a select chip. So I think we can say that, nope, we're going to need a, okay, so we need a select chip, and we are going to need a math chip, I believe. Let me see. So, actually, are we going to want a select chip? No, I don't think we are. let us change this to a, let us change this. I think what we're going to want is a, I think we're just going to want a writer. Let's start from there. And 3. Because we're going to want, we're going to need a writer to write to the furnace to turn it on and off. Oh, we're going to need to compare. That's what we're going to need. Yeah, and then that will output. So we'll put a compare. I guess we'll just stick it right here. All right, so we want to, and we're going to need to wire it up. Let's see, I think we're going to do a 4-way right there. And, oh, wrong one. There we go. All right, so tie that in, tie that in, tie that in, that, and that. And this should go pretty straightforward, I do believe. Unless there's any strange, you know. I think it should be, we've got basically most of it already with the, we have nothing down there, so we don't actually need. And I think we do have a, can we get up there? Yes, all right. Yep, we can tie in right there. We'll change that to a corner. Yep, that'll work. All right. Yep, and I think the other one is the one that's going to take a little bit more setup, since we're going to have to add a pressure, a pipe analyzer, and we're going to have to set up a batch writer and a, oh, what's that? A batch writer, a regular writer, a reader, and I think that's it. Oh, and this, there we go. All right. So we want this to compare. Oh, we might need a memory chip for this too. So we want to compare our power percentage. We want to compare power percentage is less than, and then, yeah, we're going to want a memory unit in that because we're going to need to give it a number to compare to. So that'll be simple enough. And we'll throw it over here. All right. So, and we'll just put it 4-way in there real quick. All right. So, and we're going to need to set that. All right. Let's get that out of our inventory. We don't need that there anymore. All right, and we're going to set this to 20. Nope, wrong way. We're going to set this to, oh, that is nice because you can do decimals in there now. Yeah, we haven't had to do that. That'll work. That gets us closer. We can set that to 25. That gives us a little bit of a buffer. And I'd like to put this in too so that it detects if the batteries are not charging. So that way it means if the solar's not receiving anything. But then we're going to have to, we'd have to probably do a select chip. Yeah, we could probably do that easy enough with a select chip. And then we can do a reader Yeah, that'll work. So that'll add us, that way if the battery is not charging, um, then, because we don't want to run the generator if the solar panels are gonna take care of it. Um, so we want to we need to add a select, and then we need to add a reader, which we might actually, oh, very nice. Okay, so we'll turn this around. All right, I think that'll work. So that'll expand the system a little bit, give it a little bit more, fine-tuned automation. And because we don't want the generator kicking in if it doesn't need to. Basically similar to how the pressure system is set up, where what is it with junctions tonight not wanting to go? There we go. Thank you. All right. We don't need one there. And we do need one there. And we do need one there. All right. There we go. Pick that up. And let's fill this in with the 4 ways real quick. So there. Oh, we didn't need a 4-way there. All right, yeah, similar to how the pressure system is set with the overrides for the temperatures, so they will not run if, basically the atmosphere is considered too low in the base. This way it will not, it will not run the generator if and autosave. If the generator, if the batteries are charging off the solars. So that way if it runs low and it starts charging, it will stop. And come on. Thank you. All right. So we should tie that one in, and then I think we just need a corner right there. All right, so we want to compare, let's get all this set up, power percentage to labeler. Well, we're not comparing to the labeler, but we do need to label these. So this is going to be low power limit. And then we will compare. We want to call that power limit compare. And this will be the generator writer. This is going to be the battery charging reader. And then this will be charging override. I think that should work. So we can now set. So we want to compare this to the low power limit, which would be 25. So this is going to see this as a percentage, basically, since this number is a percentage. It sees right now that we have basically, roughly 75% in. If this is less than 75%, then it's going to output. Let me see. Power percentage. Compare is less than, we're going to need to change this to, can we change? Okay, we got to change this to a decimal. So memory limit decrease. I don't know if we can set this as a no, so we don't want it as a negative. Okay, so we'll say we can't do 2 points, so we'll just do 0.2. So if we get down to 0.2, yeah, so it's outputting that is not 0.2, so that's fine. And if, let's not turn that on yet, if the power limit compare is, and we need to write to the generator, and we will turn it on. So basically, if that says yes or less than 25, it will kick on. We will change this in a minute once we add this in. So we want to compare if this is 0. So we're going to select charging. Yes, we want to do this one. So if the battery count, oh, you know what? This might not work. Because if we turn the generator on, then the battery's going to be charging. So it's going to automatically override that. So we can't read off of whether the battery is charging or not. So what else do we, and we're not tied into, unfortunately this grid is not tied into the solar, because we could do with a solar angle. You know, if it is actually reading, then it would be able to do an override from there. So how else can we do an override? Honestly, unless we run up another line or something, I'm not sure how we're going to pull off an easy override. Yeah, I mean, this will kick in the generator, so that's easy enough. So that's actually all set. So that's tied into there. You know, basically the system will work that way. But I did want to do an override for the solar. Unfortunately, charging. So, because we're not going to be able to. Yeah, I don't think. Oh, there's a nice little typo in there. Yeah, this one. So because if we do if stationary battery is charge, then this would basically kick on and say, you know, oh, no, it doesn't tell me it's charging. Battery charging ratio, power potential, power actual. Oh, what is power actual? No, that's how, actually, okay, actual is just how much it's actually putting out versus how much is demanded. Okay, I guess we can't pull if it's reading or not. I thought the charge was, because charge is obviously, looks like charge is, we're about half, so that's this one, I believe. All right, I guess that's not going to work. Yeah, we can't pull off of that. All right, so I guess for now we'll set it up like that. We can revisit this later on and see, maybe we'll run a line down sometime from up top, and we can tie into, let me see, because the only way I think we're going to be able to do that is we'd have to be able to tie into the solar panels. which are basically up there. So we would have to tie in and run a line down, which I don't really like because then that's going to interconnect the grids. Though we could move this logic reader so that the data input on it is coming off that one line. It would kind of suck to run a line all the way down just to pull in one logic reader. But if we need to, we need to, because our output and the power can tie into the other grid. That way it will not interconnect the grids, but it would work. So I think we'll leave those off for now until we set that up. But this will give us our automatic generator kick in if this is less than 25%. So what we can do is we can just go throw some coal in there, and then it'll be ready to run in case it ever does get low enough. Because what I really want to work on is this too. So before I go up onto the ceiling and start, I don't know. I'm tempted just to tear it and go through and do it right now. We're going to have to make a ton of wiring to do that. Yep. So let's see. How do we want to test this? So we can change this memory. Oh, I left the screwdriver up there, didn't I? Yes, of course. All right, so we'll change that memory real quick. We'll set it to like 90 or 0.9. Yes, and then that will, because we're at, well, oh, I guess the sun must have come up, so now we're charging. All right. The other option, as I did see, is there is a, somebody has set up a logic circuit. I think it's quite big for a digital clock. So we could just set it to run the clock, and then depending on what time the clock is, but that's probably, that would be kind of quite a big undertaking when we can just run a line up. All right, so obviously we've now got to wait for night to test that. So we'll go do that real quick. Alternately, we could just break the line and let it, drain the batteries, but I'd rather not really do it that way. Yeah, I think, okay, so we're going to need to get cable running. How much copper do we have in here? 108. All right, so we're going to let that make cable coil, and then we're going to walk away and forget about it. All right, so let's go find out where we need to run that line down from. We'll just go ahead and get it all tied in. I don't want to leave the system half done. So really, on this data, we just need to tie into this somewhere. And I'm guessing what we're going to do is, let's see, the airlock is right here. So somewhere down around here, I think, is where we're going to want to tie in. This should be, preferably we should get a pretty straight shot. We're going to have to bend down for the walls, I do believe. Okay, so yeah, that's actually pretty much right where we want to be. We can come down this wall right here, and we should be pretty good. Let's see how we want to tie into that. Yep, and there's our main lines. there's our wall with our circuit on it right there. So we can come right down from there. Okay, let's get this stuff out of the way. And honestly, we only have to tie into that circuit because that is coming off of, because that's reading up into here. Oh, actually, yeah, we can just tie in right there. Now, question is, oh, there's the data there. So we'll come down on this side, and then we can come, the side. Can we run a line behind this side? I have a feeling that the answer is no to that. Yeah, no, we can't. Oh, well, that kind of, because that would have been perfect. I guess we can run this down and around the side, because this line cuts over, runs up to here, ties off, comes up to here. So we could come down, run down right here, and tie in right there. So that will work. That way we don't actually have to run cabling down through the floor. Yeah. And why are we doing on oodles and oodles on cable? Because we are definitely going to go through it. Okay, let's see. We should hopefully have about 100 or so. Because we still got to do that other circuit as well. Oh yeah, we're going to have over 100. Very nice. This should last us for a while. Probably turn off my jetpack. And autosave. Thank you. All right. I wish they'd do some more work on, I mean, it's not a huge pause, but it's, you know, it is quite. Okay, I'm assuming 50 should be enough to run down there from here. All right, so really, and let's get our light turned on. All right, so we should, yeah, we need to run back on this wall. So we should be able to tie it, yeah. All right. And we should be able to change this to a junction. Okay, junction, very nice. And come on, go straight. Thank you. Did I not put one? I thought I. Oh, it must be right there. Why isn't that not? Ooh. Randomly fall off the beam. What is going on there? Oh, that should have a corner right there. Or no, I put a straight there. Okay, so we need the corner there. Not a three-way, a regular corner. All right, and we're gonna need, oh, let's see, a corner here. And we'll need a corner going down. There we go. All right, so that'll tie us in there. And, oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, we got that light. Okay, that's going to mess that up. And I kind of like the light centered over the... all right, so what we'll do is... grinder. Let's pull that off. Pull that off. Pull that off. open these up. And what we'll do is we'll run through the inside. And that should get us to where we need to be. Trying to kind of try to keep this tidy. Oh. Did I? Oh, I missed one on there. There we go. All right, so we'll run. Oh yeah, that'll work. All right, so we're gonna run a. Let's see, we'll do a corner right there, and then we can run that line down through. Still want to hover. I'll be very happy when they add that feature. Okay, so we'll get this ran down here. And we just need to tie in right here. So we'll change this to a junction. Yep, that way. And a corner. All right, so we should be able to pull all that off now. All right. All right, let's try to get everything off the generator. So now this, yeah, should, yeah, okay. Active fan wall, glass door, solar panel. Okay. So reading from a solar panel, horizontal, vertical, maximum on, yeah. So should be, so charge 0, we're not charging. Okay. So yes, there's our override. So if, so we want to, and we're going to have to relabel this now because that's not the correct label. So solar override. Okay, and charging override, yes. So we should be able to select if, that one. So we want to select the solar override. And if it is 0, then we want it to, is it pressure override base? Then we want it to go to the, so if logic, if that is 0, then we want it to go to the compare. Power limit compare, yes. Power limit compare, okay. So that way, if, and if this is, then we need to set it to, oh, okay. So yes, and then we need to add, which technically we could just use the pressure override setting. You know what? I'm going to just relabel that. Yeah, we will just relabel that. So, because we can use that in multiple spots. And then if this is, we'll set this to be the Oh, shoot. No, we can't because those are separate grids. Ah, that keeps messing me up. All right, so we need to put a memory slot in. And we're going to leave it set to 0. So we're just going to call that override. Same thing. F, E. Yeah, that whole separate grids keeps getting me. One of these days I'll remember that I'll keep remembering. It's screwing me up because every other room, the whole room is the same grid, but that is the separate grid for the AC system. So, so then we want to compare to, and I need to get my flashlight, not flashlight, screwdriver. Thank you. So if this is a 1, so solar override, we want to select based off of solar override, yes. And then if the solar override reads a 0, then we'll do the limit compare. And if the solar override is a 1, then we will tell it to use the override, which is a 0. So basically what that will do is power limit compare, and we want to go, oh, why did I, oh, that did not need to be, well, it doesn't really matter. That didn't need to be a batch writer. A regular writer would have worked. So we're not going to go off of the power limit compare. We're going to go off the charging override. Okay. And then that's going to do a 0. Okay. So now we can turn them all on. And now if our power in our total storage, so where did we put that? So our compare unit, compare low power limit. Oh, math, nope. Math select, logic, batch, math, power percentage, the power compare. So power percentage is less than, so this over here, which is 0.2. So basically if we have less than a quarter of our total power storage, then it will tell it to write, it'll write to the generator to tell it to kick on the generator. And that is only if the solar panels are not charging. So it's reading only one solar panel, but that, they're all set up together. So if the solar panel is detecting a charge, it will run this override and tell it that that is a 0. So if for some reason, if we drop below 25%, and it is charging, then the solar panel, because we know the solar panel is big enough, it's a lot more capacity than what we need. So yeah, that'll work. Similar to how our pressure system is set up, our temperature control has the pressure system override on it. Yeah, so that should work pretty good then. Yeah, let me see if I can explain that a little bit better. So if the sun is not up, well, if the solar panels are not charging, then it will make it pay attention to this, which is checking if we have greater than 0.2 pulling off of this memory in the batteries. If we have greater than 0.2, then it's not going to run the generator. And if this senses that the solar panels are charging, then it will use this override to keep the generator from running, even if we drop below 0.2. That way it'll let the solars refill the system. There. Okay. So that way we're not needlessly running, and if we do, say, drop below zero point 0.2 for some reason, and then the sun, comes up and we're still below like the 0.2, um, say for some reason we're running a ton of stuff overnight or something and we drain it, the generator will run, keep it, a minimum amount in there, which is still quite a bit, saying we have 3 batteries. Then once the sun comes up, it will shut off the generator and let the solar panels charge the system. So that will save us on coal and whatnot. Either way, I do got to check and see if there's still that bug, because we were having the issue that the bends were throwing out on world anytime I loaded up the world. They were throwing out anything that was in them, which, because I wanted to keep a reserve in a bin, which obviously was not working that great. If it kept dumping out the coal every time I loaded up it was basically dumping out like 1 stack every time. I don't know what was up with it. I don't know if it's been fixed, but we'll have to do some testing and see. Okay, and one of these should be an iron sheet. Right there. Okay. We can drop that. And we'll get this button back up. And we can grab the steel sheets. And then we'll go on to the next, which is going to be, autosave, which is going to be adding that automated filter, kicking in the filter system. All right, so we should be all sealed up now. And we can throw the walls back up. All right, so that's good. That's one less thing we have to worry about. The base will take care of itself. And floor grate. Very nice. Okay, so we've got that up and running. And I don't know, you guys tell me, should I put steel plates on the ceilings, or should I just do more floor grate on the ceilings? I haven't really decided how I want to do that yet. But I need to eventually put something on the ceilings. All right, so now what we're going to do is, and where do we want to put this? Let's see, this is all, that's the AC. So we're going to want it, ooh, you know what? I just thought we could actually put them on the floor underneath the grate. That might actually work pretty good. Or we could put them in behind here. I'm trying to think of how much space we're going to need. We're going to need a bit. That's for sure. Oh yeah, and we got pipe running along there. All right, so I think we're going to maybe stick it in the floor. And where's a good spot to... We can run the line over here. It needs to tie into this line. That's the same grid. So, yeah, we'll just run it underneath. All right, let's go change the battery out. Oh, I moved it last episode, so now I'm going to probably spend quite a while heading towards the wrong spot on the wall. And still at 100%, so very nice. All right. So we're going to need some readers. And all we've got is memory. Wow, yeah, we used quite a bit of that up. All right, let's, we don't need that in our system for now. And we've still got quite a bit of copper in there, so we should be pretty good to go. So we're gonna need, a pipe analyzer. We're gonna need a reader. Oh, no, that was the cable analyzer. Yeah, the pipe analyzer is gonna be off the other one. So we're gonna need a reader, a writer, 2 writers. So we'll need at least 3 of these. We will need, we're going to need one. I don't know if we'll need the memory or not. I don't think we'll actually need that. We might, because we might have to say greater than 0. So, and let me see, reader, writer, reader, writer. Yeah, so we should only need, I think, 3 of those. All right, and I think we're only going to need 1 memory. You know what, since we've only got 1, we guys might as well go ahead and make another one. We've got plenty of resources, and if we don't use it now, we're going to definitely need it later on at some point. So since we're making chips and stuff, we might as well. All right, and definitely need the processors. So 2 reader, 1 reader, 2 writers, a memory, a compare. Yeah, and I think that's all we should need. It seems kind of simple, but I mean, really, we're just basically saying, you know, is the pipe, does the pipe have something on it or not? Pipe analyzer. There we go. So hopefully this one should go pretty straightforward, and we don't have to run lines everywhere either, so it should be relatively simple. And except that, let's throw that over here for now. The line we need to read is this one. So we might as well start the circuit on this side. And we could tie it in. This is all the same. See, that should be all the same circuit. I just want to make sure, because we do have the room next door is a separate circuit, and it gets a little funky in this wall since there's basically wiring for 2 rooms in this wall. This should be it, so we should be all right. And let's see if we can, yeah, I think right there will work. So basically we want to read if this has pressure or not. And we could have just stuck it, no, it would have been a pain in the butt to try to stick it in the floor. Alright, so we'll run, I think, this down. And we'll tie this in right here with a 4-way. And we'll go ahead and just run this down here a little bit so we're not trying to put stuff underneath. So let's see now. So we're going to need a reader. And that's not a reader. So we want to read. And yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's just stick it right there. I think we're just going to kind of do a line down. Actually, no, because we don't have one on that side. So we'll move this back. Try not to take up a ton of space with this. So we should be able to put a corner there. Yeah, so we'll do that. All right, so I'll stick that there. So I think that's the only, so we need a reader, the memory, the writer. Let's see, so memory. All right, let's try to get some of this laid out first. Otherwise, we do have there. All right, so we'll stick, yeah, because we only use this for the gas, so we don't care about input or, the output on this. So memory, and then we're going to need a batch writer, and we're going to need a regular logic writer, and then we're going to need a regular compare. No, math. Yeah. All right, so let's get this wired up. Yeah, this one should go a bit more straightforward than the last one. Let's see. Do a junction. Junction. Let's see, this one's got one on all four sides, right? Yeah. So we'll do there, 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 and let's see, four-way, corner. Oop, oop. Oh. Yeah, why am I suddenly thinking it's the other? Oh. Corner. Oh, no, we didn't want that there. We need those to be junctions. Junction, 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 junction. Very nice. All right, so we want to leave that set at 0. We don't care about that. Or we don't need to set that, I should say. And we're going to want our labeler. Oh, so waste pressure. All right. This is going to pressure reader. That's going to be a filter writers. That is going to be the AC writer. And this is going to be waste pressure compare. All right, So, should go, hopefully, pretty straightforward. And then I'll get halfway through it and realize it doesn't work for some reason. Okay, so we want to read the pipe analyzer. And we want to read the pressure, which is going to be 0. Very nice. The compare is the waste pressure reader. No, what did I put a compare unit there? I don't want to compare. Why did I put that there? Is it math? Min-max? Yeah, compare. Not a math unit, compare unit. There we go. So we want this to be waste pressure compare. There we go, because with an actual compare unit and not a math unit. So we want to compare our waste pressure reader. Oh, and I just passed it, didn't I? Waste pressure reader is greater than the waste pressure, which basically says it's greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, you know what? This will work, but should have actually put it on the other end, because now what's going to happen is we're going to suck everything out of here. It's going to put it into this pipe, and as soon as it's out of this pipe and into this pipe, it's going to shut these off. So really, that we'll probably have to change that. That should have been put in over here, because this is the last thing in the system. So it'll let everything run through the system, and then it'll shut off. That's what we should have done. Or we should tie it into the AC, because the AC has to run everything out. And yeah, no. Yeah, I think it needs to be on that end. But the system it's set up is correct. It should just be reading from the end of the system, not the front of the system, because that'll ensure that everything's run through. I'm thinking. Yeah, the only problem is yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, because the other, yeah, we might have to set it up this way. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. It would just mean a little bit would be left in the filtration system waiting until the next time something else was put in. Because if we set it at the end and we have, like, you know, if we're, say we're dumping the base air back into the system to depressurize it, there shouldn't really be any pollutants in there. So that would just kick off the system as well. Yeah, I really wish there was a way to yeah, I think we'll have to try it this way. I think it's going to be kind of the nature of the beast, unless we add a select, because we could put multiple ones in. Like we could have one here on the AC line. Yeah. And maybe what we'll do is we'll add a manual override switch in later on, so that if we hit the switch it will write this to be 1, and then that will basically kick it in because it would be seeing it greater than. Um, that would probably be an easy way to add 1 in. So we've got waste pressure is greater than, the pressure reader is greater than 0, basically. Okay, and then we're going to write to, the batch writer is, we're going to write to the, why is it not seeing everything else? That should be saying, oh, yes. We don't actually have the ACs hooked up to, no, we gotta add a data line in. That would be why it's not seeing them. Okay, so that's easy enough. Let me see here. Let's just do that a minute. All right, so the repetitive part of it. I wonder if, so since we have a different one for, since the AC basically is a different type of unit than the filtration, we've got to have a separate writer for that. So we could put a separate analyzer in there as well, and have that ran off of basically a similar system, but which I think would work. But we'll get this up and running first. Okay, so let's get all these corners in. Yes, then we'll be able to see all the datas and junction. As we make all the lights flicker. And then this should save us quite a bit of power. We'll definitely be able to probably add another battery in for storage, which I was thinking about doing before, but then I realized all the the filters were not running, so, or the vents were not running, and I think that's why we've been storing up a lot more power than we usually do. So the batch writer. So we want to do, oh, we had that actually right. We want to do waste pressure compare. And I just passed it, waste pressure compare. And we want to output to the filters. Transformer. Okay, so filtration and then on. Okay, so it shut off all the filters because obviously the line is empty right now. Very nice. Well, it's actually reading 0. Okay, so we'll turn it on so it actually reads. Very nice. And now we want the same thing here. Waste pressure compare. And this is going to output to the air conditioner. And the same thing is it will turn it on. And if we turn everything on now, there we go. So now if we, and this is going to be the thing, is it going to be too fast? So it should be able to see as soon as we put this in here. Yep, see it kicked them on because it detected there was something put into the system. As soon as this pipe emptied out, it kicked it off. Now the problem is that, so see, it kicked. And the question is, too, is if this is off, is it kicking on that start? That's the problem. So I need to put something in there that's going to take a while, which, how much is in that? That's empty, so why does that keep emptying out? How much pressure did that drop? It's a radiator, so it's set to 150, but obviously the cooler it gets, the lower it drops. So I wouldn't imagine, I thought I had quite a bit of reserve in there. So we shouldn't really be. So 82. Oh yeah, we dropped down to, okay, so it's basically going all the way down to Kelvin. So we need to, or I should say 0 degrees Kelvin basically. So yeah, we'll need to pressurize that some more. Anyway, that is, I was going to grab that tank to let it drain because it would take a little bit longer. I guess I can just drain my jetpack. So yeah, kicks those all on. Yeah, the problem is it's not starting the AC. But yeah, that's just equalizing with that tank. So we need it not to turn on the AC. We need to leave the AC on. We need to see if there's like whatever the setting is for that. That's going to be the correct way to go about that. So we'd have to. I really wish they would fix that. That is an annoying bug. All right. So what we will do then is. Let me see. What else options do we get on the writer? On, open, mode, lock. Yeah, obviously on doesn't work because that's powering it. It would really be nice if the air conditioner was set up like the rest of the machines. That, you know, you either got an on or off. I don't know why they've added this start and stop. So I don't know if we have, and if everybody knows, throw it out in the chat. If there is a way to run filtration out mode lock on. I don't know what the open is. So let's see if I jump this back in here. Yeah, I don't know if we've got a setting for that. Oh, I should have. Shoot. All right, let's go grab another tank of nitrogen. Just swap it out. All right, so if we. No. All right, so it's on and it's not running. Not exactly ideal, but so if we put that in, it kicks in, it's run. Whoa. It's all right. So it's not kicking it in. So actually, that's not a good setting. Mode. I don't know if we've got control over that from here or not. Let's see if these have all kicked off. Okay, they've all kicked off. It's on idle. Kick it on. And yeah, it does not start it. All right. So that looks like that's obviously something we are either not able to automate or we've got to automate it a different way. And that's going to take a little while, so we'll just let that fill up. Because those are so slow. All right, so we will have to call that good on there. So we will just set that to, we're just actually going to turn that off. We won't even control the AC for now. It's going to stay on. What is going on with that? How are we suddenly drawing? You're going to tell me adding those 4 circuits in? No, because now the filters are off. I mean, we can run all these at the same time. How are we getting too much power demand? Oh, that's really weird. We've never had too much power demand on there. Really? Okay. I don't see why that's the case. I mean, the only thing we've added to this system is a pipe analyzer and 5 chips. We should definitely have, and I mean, really, the ACs are the only thing on the system. Unless pressure on, nope, filtration, pipe analyzer, pressure, screw, yeah, AC is not set to run. Well, no. Oh, yeah, it was turning, why is it? Oh, that is really weird. They were having issues with the ACs trying to pull too much power before. We haven't had it until now, so I don't know. I'll grab the autosave. And all right, let's grab this. Now I guess the ACs, it does fluctuate. I mean, yeah, we're using 755 watts. That should not be drawing. Now the question is can we kick this on and read at the, oh, almost. Let's try this again. Yep, it's for some reason now it's overloading the line. So if we disconnect that, yep, no, it's just the AC's being bugged now. Yeah. Oh, the joys of early access. All right. And where did we pull? Oh, we pulled this off the wall. That's right. All right. Well, hopefully doing a restart will take care of that. We can cover all this back up. So that was, well, obviously there's a little bit of a bug there. I'll have to do some more looking into it and see if there is a way to have the AC kick on. Because obviously it's not taking care of it. And we might have to do some sort of, like I said, right now the limitation is that it's only reading on the input side. It's not reading on the output side. So it would be nice if there was a way to... Oh, I'm trying to think of maybe there's some way we could do it. I mean, we could do multiple pipe analyzers. Potentially. And then we have to do selects and compares. Maybe do that. We could do, that's going to get way, way overly complicated. I was going to say we could put a pressure analyzer between each filtration to read if there is any pressure in it, and if it is, we can have it output to a 1 to the memory, and then if the memory is greater than 1, then it would run. But we're going to have to use multiple memories then because we'd have to have each one. Otherwise, it's going to, and then we have to have math add them all together. So we're going to have multiple maths to add it all together. So that would end up being like a huge system. This will let us get most of it. I mean, obviously, if we dump a lot of stuff in the system, it's going to run it through. It would be nice if they added a timer, because this would be nice if it kicks on. Once it hits 0, then we could have it go to the timer and then kick off. But hopefully at some point they will add a timer. But for now, I mean, if we need to for some reason, we can kick it on. So obviously, like this, there's some stuff in the AC. Yeah, that's right. And it's doing the power draw for whatever reason. Anyway, which is pretty funny because right now there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things plus the AC running in this room. That is it. The lights are on the other grid. Well, that one is not, and that one is not, and 2 lights. So, yeah, and that 6, and the door 7. So, yeah, but that is kind of, yeah, and I've had nothing but trouble with that AC since I put it in. I'm kind of tempted to pull it out and just put a passive system in, but it was working. There we go. All right, so we've now got automated backup generator going based on whether or not the sun is out. So very nice. I keep thinking there's a circuit board on the floor right there. That's going to drive me nuts. And we've also got a basic filtration system, kicking in off. So that should actually save us some power because most of the time it will be off, except for the AC, which we're going to have to run manually. And hopefully a restart is going to fix that glitch. All right. So I'd say it's pretty good for this episode. We're a little over an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm going to see if there is a way to get to control the actual start and stop button on the AC through the logic off camera. I'm not seeing a setting for it in the logic, so we'll have to see. Unless maybe it's a mode control. We might be able to do a mode. I don't know if we leave it on and do a mode. Well, turn it on and do a mode control. Maybe that's the format it's in. I don't know. So maybe if we set it to mode 1 and then it kicks it to start, and if we kick it to mode 2, then it kicks it to the other, the stop. We'll see. Because I didn't see a setting on it, which I would think there would be as well. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. No, it's losing temperature, so that's what that is. Yeah. So I'll look into that after in the stream, and then I think on the next stream, depending on what I figure out on that, we'll kind of finish that up a little bit, and we're gonna do the test run on the furnace, because obviously if the AC is not working, then we need that to work, because that's the whole point of having the AC in there, so it doesn't kill kill everything in the greenhouse, which for now it's fine because it's just going to back up in this system. But obviously at some point the pipes will explode because there's too much pressure. So we obviously don't want to leave it like that long term. Plus, it's not going to, get anything else through the rest of the system. Well, no, actually, it's just gonna back up in the. Well, let me see. Yeah, because it wouldn't be able to pass through on the output to go through the rest of the system. So yeah, it's gonna back up on this, which luckily we do have a holding tank there. So that's we've got a ways to go before it becomes something critical. Um, So yeah, do a test run. Hopefully get that AC fixed. Do the again. Do the test run on the furnace. And I thought there was something else I wanted to. No, we've got the power monitor. We've got the generator. We've basically got the filter. So yeah, I guess we're gonna put in that room then next. Is what we'll go to. But um, yeah, and then we're all set on mining and stuff. So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully in the next one, I will have some sort of fix for that AC, figure out if there is a logic control for it or not. All right. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next episode.